Having your YouTube channel become your full-time job is a dream that a lot of creators have. And honestly, I get it because 4 years later, and I still feel like most mornings I am waking up living a dream life. However, in the last 4 years, I have definitely learned a couple of things that nobody really told me before I became a full-time YouTuber that I really had to learn the hard way. So this video goes out to anybody who is currently trying to make a full-time job out of their YouTube channel, blog, Instagram, TikTok, and hopefully I can save at least one person from one of these heartaches and challenges that I had to go through when I first got started. Firstly, a whole lot of people are going to question exactly what it is you do, and a lot of people are going to judge you for it. Either because they just don't see what you do as a real job, or for some other people because they're just jealous that you get to do what it is you love and make money doing it. A lot of people who are going to question what it is you do honestly don't mean it in any kind of malicious way. For me, a lot of people I've crossed who question what it is I do often come from older generations where being a full-time content creator or influencer just didn't exist in that time. And then of course there are some people who absolutely mean it in some kind of malicious way, and oftentimes it's just because they're jealous that they can't do what it is you've accomplished. I have definitely found over time that I have come up with some go-to responses to either one of these interactions or conversations, but honestly having people question what it is you do and judge you for it is just something you have to get used to. People that you cross in your everyday life are going to ask you what it is you do for a living. Not everybody is going to get it. Some people are going to judge you for it, and other people are going to be very interested and impressed by what it is you do. It's really just something that you have to navigate and get used to when this is your full-time job. The second thing that definitely comes with a little bit of an adjustment period is that payday looks a little bit different around here. When you're working in a traditional 9-to-5 job, you have X amount of money that is coming your way bi-weekly depending on what it is that you do. No matter what your workday looks like, no matter what your schedule looks like, you're going to be paid that same amount of money every 2 weeks. As somebody who is self-employed and does social media and content creation as a full-time job, you do not have that same kind of structure. When you are self-employed, payday and how much you make is going to depend on what it is you do, where exactly your revenue is coming from, how much you're going to be making, and when it's going to be hitting your bank account. Just using myself and my YouTube channel as an example, there is a period of time every month where I get paid by AdSense. Then there is another monthly period where I get paid by each one of my affiliate partnerships. And then also if ever month to month I do any kind of sponsorship or brand deal, then that will be another period throughout the month that I get paid for that brand deal. It is most definitely a very different system and structure that definitely takes a little bit of time to get used to, that definitely comes with a little bit of anxiety and uneasiness. Especially when month to month you never really know exactly how much money you're going to be making and how much you're going to be taking home. Just like anybody else, we have expenses to pay for, we have bills to pay, so it definitely does require a little bit of planning and strategizing and getting used to go from making X amount of money bi-weekly to never really knowing month to month how much you're going to be making. And I can most certainly attest that almost 4 years later, you never really get over that anxiety or uneasiness. It's just something that eventually becomes a lot easier to manage and handle. The third thing that was possibly one of the most wicked wake-up calls I have ever had as a full-time creator is just how much money you're going to be paying in taxes. You're going to see and hear so many people in the industry celebrating hitting 6-figure or even 7-figure milestones in their business, but let me be the first one to tell you that they are most definitely not going to be keeping all of that money, and the more money you make, the more money you have to pay in taxes. I'm not sure exactly how it works in the US or the UK or other countries. However, here in Canada, we definitely have to pay 31% of all the money we make as creators. And I most certainly learned this the hard way when tax season came around the first year I made 6 figures and definitely paid a lot more money than I was prepared to, which definitely helped me to prepare a whole lot better the next year. And from then on, I definitely learned the importance of putting a portion of your paycheck aside every single month so that when it comes to paying taxes the following year, it's a whole lot easier. But that is definitely one of the biggest and hardest lessons I ever learned that nobody really taught me when I first got started. So if I can help even one person avoid that heartache and that challenge, then my work here is done. Now, sort of going along with that last one, you need to be tracking every single penny of what you make and what you spend. As any kind of full-time content creator or business owner or self-employed person, there are so many things that you can claim and write off on your taxes. Just going off the top of my head, I can actually write off a portion of my monthly rent and my utility bills. I can write off absolutely anything I would potentially buy in order to actually create my videos. I can write off any kind of equipment or things I invest in as a creator, whether that is my editing software, whether that is a brand new camera. There are so many of these loopholes and things you can definitely write off on your taxes as a creator or self-employed person. So I definitely recommend investing in the services of some kind of accountant to help you with all of that. Please take it from me as somebody who my first year paying taxes as a full-time content creator had to literally sit down and go through 12 months of my income and spending reports in my bank account so that I could put together a proper report for my accountant. Please learn from my mistakes, and from the very first day after you pay last year's taxes, create for yourself some kind of a tracker to track literally every single penny of what you spend, what you make, and every one of your write-offs and your claims. It's literally going to make the biggest difference in your life and save you so much time and effort, and that took me so long to learn. Now, another really big lesson I learned the hard way is that numbers mean nothing if you can't monetize them. The second that you get started on social media, whether that's creating a new YouTube channel, a new TikTok, Instagram, or blog, you're going to be all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, getting so excited every time your subscriber count goes up, every time you post a new piece of content and people like your post on Instagram, or you see the views go up on your YouTube video. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys, that dopamine really never goes away. Every time I have a new video that's ranked first out of my last 10 uploads, that dopamine just goes off in my brain. Every time I log into my YouTube studio and see my subscriber count go up, once again, that dopamine goes off. However, you also very quickly learn that when you're trying to make a go of turning your YouTube channel or TikTok or Instagram or blog into a full-time job, that honestly, absolutely none of those numbers mean anything to you if there's no way to monetize them and make money off of them. Absolutely, seeing your subscriber count or your follower count go up on your account is such an exciting feeling, but if when you eventually put any kind of business or revenue stream in front of your audience and you're unable to convert them, you're unable to land paid clients or customers, well then having all of those subscribers and getting all of those views really don't matter or do much for you, because you're not going to be able to turn any of that into a full-time income. Whether you are selling some kind of digital product, whether you're trying to land new clients to your services, whether you're trying to land paid brand deals or sponsorships, if you do not have any kind of a targeted audience that is going to help you turn your influence into income, you're just not going to be able to turn this into any kind of income stream or full-time job. So you definitely need to have some kind of a really strong strategy in place to help whatever business it is you're trying to grow actually make money and get monetized. Otherwise, trying to make a full-time income and a full-time job out of this is just not going to be possible. Another very tough lesson I had to learn the hard way is that you never know when any kind of revenue stream is going to absolutely blow up and take off or faceplant. So you need to have multiple buckets set up. The importance of diversifying your income is something I've talked about a lot on my channel, mostly because I had my own really tough experience with it and really just don't want anybody else to have to go through that. Depending solely on AdSense or brand deals or paid products or affiliates to make up your entire income and revenue is not a smart move. You absolutely never know when you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and have something really drastic happen and one of your income streams just absolutely disappears and there goes all your money. But if you were to wake up tomorrow morning and have one of those streams just fall off the face of the earth and disappear with your money, if in that case you do have other eggs in other baskets, you are making revenue and income off of other streams, well then in that case you have a pretty good safety net, a pretty good security, and then you are going to be protected in the meanwhile while you try to get a brand new revenue stream up and running. So this is why it is so important if you want to be any kind of a full-time content creator or influencer to ensure that you are constantly building and growing multiple streams of income. If there is anything at all that you take away from this video, let it be this one. Discipline is a must. To any kind of an outside perspective, it may seem like content creators just take a couple of pictures, film a YouTube video, upload the content, and then literally do absolutely nothing else for the rest of the day. However, the truth is that it's called a full-time job for a reason. Between planning, shooting, editing, and posting content, being your own manager and handling the business side of things, staying up to date on how your platform and the algorithms are constantly changing, and also focusing on on building and growing your income streams, it is more than a full-time job, and in a lot of cases, you're quitting a 9-to-5 job to do a lot more work. And it is just so easy when you are a self-employed creator with no boss above you, nobody making your schedule, nobody telling you what to do, to just up and decide to take the day off or just upload way less content this week than you did on an average week. If you are not planning your weeks and writing a to-do list and making yourself a schedule, staying on top of all your various strategies, and most importantly, if you are not keeping a solid routine, there is absolutely nobody else out there to help keep you accountable. When you begin to slack off and take extended periods of time without posting any new content, when your engagement starts to drop and your revenue starts to drop, there is absolutely nobody else out there that is going to help you just snap back into it, because that is all up to you. So really, when it comes to whether you succeed or completely and totally fail at making this a successful full-time job, that is 100% up to you and within your own control. If you are not even the slightest bit disciplined, you are not going to make it. Let me be the first one to tell you that you are going to want to quit so many times, but the ultimate payoff is absolutely worth it. Having this be your full-time job and your sole method of making an income and earning a living, there are going to be times where it gets really tough and you just feel like quitting absolutely everything. Whether or not you can actually make this work, whether or not you're actually going to succeed at this, the impact it's going to have on your social life, and there are going to be times where all this becomes way too much to handle and you're going to ask yourself, is this even worth it and should I just quit? There are going to be times where you consider whether or not getting a 9-to-5 retail job would just be so much less pressure, less responsibility, and so much easier. But then you remember why you got started in the first place, you remember exactly what your dreams are and why it is you got on this journey in the first place, and then you remember that while all of this can be a lot to handle sometimes, a lot of work and a lot of stress, the ultimate payoff absolutely makes it worth it. But yeah, you guys, that is it for this video. That is everything I had to share with you guys about all the things I wish I had known before I got started as a full-time creator. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. Love you all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!